Hello and welcome once again to Voice of the Coast. We are on the Port of Morgan City's survey boat with Mac Wade, Executive Director of the port. Thanks to Les Ruff and Chad Aber, our guides, pilots for this trip. And we're taking a look at some of the work that is going on in the area, particularly the heavy industry, because there is a lot of it right now. We are offshore by... Who's that? Just letting us know we're here. We're by Conrad over here, not too far from Amelia. What's going on here, Mac?
I don't know. I guess they were just testing the horn out.
But what's okay? What are these units we're looking at?
We're out in Amelia. Conrad has 4 shipyards in Morgan City. One up on Front Street, and this is their first one. This used to be called the aluminum yard here in Morgan City. And behind me, you can see these big square looking vessels. Look at the name on them, U.S. Navy. Conrad's has got a big Navy contract. I think there's either 4 or 5 of them behind me, and there's several more, probably I'm sure up in the warehouse in some stage of putting together. But they have got, I think there's a total of 8 of them, and they've already shipped maybe 2, maybe 3 of these vessels out. These are like living quarters. What they are, when a Navy ship is somewhere around the world has to go into port and has to go on a dry dock, well, you don't leave your crew on the boat on a dry dock. They have to have a place to stay. So these have the mess halls in them. They have the kitchens. They got everything in there, the living quarters. But that's what these are for. The first 2. When they left here, went to San Diego, and from there they went to Japan for the Navy. US
So the Navy can just take these wherever they need.
Wherever they need to. Yep. They're not. These will be towed wherever they got to go.
Do we know how many people Conrad is?
They have hundreds and hundreds of people working out in this area. This is just one this is one of 3 shipyards, or 2 shipyards, 2 shipyards in this area. We're fixing to slide down to the other one, which and if you notice, there's a couple barges sitting behind us. Yep. Conrad's also builds that. Conrad's builds new stuff, repairs old stuff, works with the federal government, works with a lot of different agencies all over the country. All
right, well, let's go downstream and take a look at what else Conrad's doing. All right, so we've moved a couple hundred yards down shore. Conrad was doing new construction at the first place. Here's where we do some repair work. What's happening here?
Behind us, you can see there's many dry docks behind us. This is also part of Conrad's. These dry docks are doing a lot of repairs. Conrad's builds new stuff, they repair stuff. They've been around for over 75 years. But behind us, you'll see some dry docks, and you'll see different sized vessels up on each dry dock.
And as you mentioned before, Conrad, it seems like every time we turn around, every day, they're announcing a new contract with somebody.
They have a tremendous backlog, which is very good. You know, years ago, we didn't even know how to spell the word backlog. But this whole area, all these businesses we've been passing this morning, they all have backlogs. They already got a lot of business, down in 2026, which is, another 3 months away. Yeah. But there's a lot of work going on in the area. But Conrad's has been a big player for a long time. They've got many employees with their 4 shipyards here in town.
For a company like this, realistically, how far into the future can they accept contracts and be prepared to go?
Some of this stuff, they're probably, in this day and age, it depends on how big the project is, but some of these projects maybe take 2 to 3 years just on the design. So they're looking at stuff 2, 3, 4, 5 years out. They're looking at that. Could it be further than that? Possibly, I don't know. But they have to look at stuff because you got to do all the engineering design before you can get a price and everything. So it takes a long time to get something from a drawing board to get it put in the water.
One more little quick hop down the bayou, and we see a fantastic barge that Conrad looks like they're wrapping up here.
Yes, and if you see behind that on the bank, you see other barges in different phases of construction. They do a lot of barge work, and this stuff goes all over the country. It goes out of the country. They have stuff on Front Street going down to Puerto Rico. They build stuff for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Conrad does a lot of work. They've had SpaceX in here. They did work for SpaceX recently. You name it, they got it going here in the country. They got stuff going into outer space. But they're teaming with all these different agencies.
You hear a lot of talk lately about autonomous work, autonomous craft.
Right.
Conrad's, I think, just got a contract for that.
Just recently, there was an article on Conrad's that they've signed a contract to build autonomous ships. I don't know, still trying to figure, is that going to be done here or is it going to be done somewhere else? But Conrad has they got 4 shipyards here and they got 1 in Texas, but hopefully it's going to be one of the ones here in Louisiana and everything. But they do a lot of work, from new builds to repairs, you name it.
Awesome. Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to Voice of the Coast. We have, and we're with Mac Wade again, Executive Director for the Port of Morgan City. We've turned off the Intercoastal Waterway and kind of at the head of the Bayou Buff here. And this is where you really see where it's going on, where you hear people saying there's not a lot of work going on. Oh, yes, it is. But if you're driving through St. Mary Parish and you're on the 4-lane, this is what you miss. This is Bollinger. And to say this place is huge, we've been sailing past it for about a half mile. They have got some amazing work going on here.
Chris, you're right. What we're passing, what we're in, Bollinger has 3 shipyards out here. You don't know when you're in one or when you're in the other, but you got 3 of them. These are 3 of their larger shipyards in their company. I think Bollinger has about 15 to 18 shipyards scattered across the country, but we're fortunate enough to have 3 of them right here in Amelia on Bayou Buff. And as you can see, I know there will be some footage that was taken as we were coming around. Massive vessels, huge ships, 300-foot ships. You got 400-foot barges being built. They do a lot of work. I see, it looks like another piece. They built the dry docks for the nuclear submarine program. People say, Mike, they don't have submarines around here. No, they don't, but the dry docks were all built here and then brought up to the East Coast. The Navy was down. They do Navy stuff. They got stuff with Space Force. They deal with all different agencies, and a lot of federal contracts are put together here. But you can see there's different phases of projects that are going on. A lot of work going on in this area.
And you know, when you talk about doing work for the military and for the space program, you are really into some high precision work and really high quality.
High quality, because they don't just let anybody start working on this. One of the things, Chris, and I tell people all the time, you want to see what's going on in Morgan City, well, pass by your hotels. Well, Mike, I passed by at 9 o'clock this morning. I didn't see a car in the parking lot. You're right. How about try it at 6 o'clock tonight or 6 in the morning? You won't find a parking spot. Because a lot of these inspectors, because when the government gives you a contract, they don't just say, well, build me this boat or build me this barge. They have inspectors monitoring your work the whole time. And one thing that's consistent, just like the yard we just left Conrad, they get repeat business. Yeah. Bollinger gets repeat business. It's tough to be a government contractor because the standards are so high. Not that they don't do other work the same quality, but they got a good reputation. They've been doing this for many, many years.
Yeah, once you get your foot in the door with them, it tends to stay there.
It stays there, that's right. They know who they can rely on, but you can see there's a lot of work out here at Bollinger.
Lift boats over here.
Lift boats over there. There's dredges. They don't build dredges, but they repair a lot of the dredges that we use in this area.
And continuing on, a couple of big work boats over there.
Big work boats on that side. That Bollinger goes probably about another 2,000 foot past about the end at the stern of those work boats is their property. It's a huge area. It's almost a mile wrap around this area that they have.
And they just got, we heard just last week that they got yet another Navy contract, or part of a contract for some icebreakers.
An icebreaker,
I'm not sure if those are going to be built here yet,
Yeah.
We're trying to find that out.
And
But,
Chris,
that
one
would be
thing
great.
about it, when they do hear, so well, Mike, it's not going to be built there, but yeah, you're right. It's going to be put at maybe one of their other shipyards. That means some of the work at those other shipyards, they might have to push it over here.
Yeah.
So we may not have got that part of that contract, but we can still get some spin-off business from it. This is the fabrication hub in Louisiana. We're right in the middle of it. We've been doing this for 50, 60, 70 years down here. This is the hub between New Iberia and Houma and Morgan City. This is the fabrication hub for South Louisiana. That's why all the fabrication yards are all busy, got backlogs.
Thanks for your time on this, Mac. We're going to close it out for now. This is one of the several shows that we're going to be doing here as we take a look at what's going on here. Industry just rolling along here in Morgan City. You might think it's not. It is. You kind of have to get off the highway to see it. But look, things are very busy here. We're doing very well. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time on The Voice of the Coast.